Do you think that he should be subbing in if he can do something on the sidelines of NATO, or frankly kind of dodges a bullet here, right? Because I know some of them, and look, the main people I am laughing about all of this, apart from the PM's answer today, was the media sort of setting the most important meeting of his career and all of this stuff that was, I mean, it wasn't North and South Korea, like, fair income. But that said, if there's a window, you take it. Do you push for the window? Do you kind of just, not really put that much effort into it? If there's a chance, do you do it next week, or does all this happen again in a week's time?
Look, I mean, firstly, to your point about how the media are trying to create this furor, I think you're dead right. I mean, this is a media bubble. The people inside the bubble are fascinating themselves with this conversation. Nobody else in the rest of Australia is following it like this bubble Correct. Of the media. So while I think it is important to pursue, as he's indicated, because despite the media trying to say what's Donald Trump going to say to him, it's what we need to say to Donald Trump. We need to press him over the tariffs. We need to press him over aluminium and steel, which he's doubled the tariff on. We need to press that point. We need to press the point that we're not going to allow him to make drugs in Australia more expensive because he wants to pander to the American pharmaceutical companies. We need to press the point that we're not going to let the American tech giants dictate how Australia's sovereign government can behave, because he's talking about getting behind them and putting punishments on countries that won't accept the MAGA definition of free speech. So I think it's important for two reasons, or three reasons, and then you have the most important one, which is to make the point to Trump that Australia are contributing up to $3 to $4 billion towards the American manufacture of submarines. And he needs to understand that part. He needs to understand that Australia and our geographic position, to borrow from Richard Marles, and all Richard Marles is guilty of is telling the truth. If the Chinese and Americans get into a spat, we'll be drawn into it whether we want to be in it or not, simply because of the use of our joint facilities to provide intelligence and satellite cover for the half of a day, every single day, where the satellites can't go direct to the US or the UK. Geographically, we're vitally important to the American strategic interests. So it's important for Albo to be making all of those points to Donald Trump, not just taking a lecture from him about how much he thinks we should spend on defence. Yeah. We'll decide that ourselves. We're a sovereign nation. So we'll decide our policy on drugs. We'll decide our policy on defence. We'll decide our policy on the internet. And those points all need to be made to Donald Trump. This is not one-way traffic.
I'm with you.